Well, 2 days ago, I got triggered by my mom again. It was the 1035th time in my life, probably, when she did that. And yeah, I got so angry, got so tired, got a lot to share with you guys. So I made a video. I was about to upload that video, and then, yesterday, something happened, and that stuff has changed everything. Damn, I got so shocked, and honestly, that's probably the most important part of my healing. So if you're about, you are trying to manifest something in your life, and you want to heal from your past traumas, whatever, this video might be really helpful. I was always that kid, I was always like trying to help my mom, to please my mom, to make sure that my mom is fine. And it was like extra care, I think. And it was very easy for her to make me feel guilty. Even though I didn't do anything, like literally, I was always trying my best. And just because of some little things, I always had to face that feeling that, oh my God, I'm just such a bad daughter. And I had that, and I always had that anger afterwards. Like, why am I the only one who truly cares about you, who's always there to help you? And why, like, you neglect my feelings, you neglect my achievements, you neglect my emotions, but at least don't get offended because of nothing, right? It's like I can say just a little thing and then such a big drama out of that, and she just can ignore me like for days, for weeks. And I always was the first one, who was there to call, start talking. And well, it's not about that. It's about, at some point, when we started living together, like a bit more than a year ago, I told you about that. Of course, because we were, constantly communicating. So I was getting triggered again and again, and then at some point I really got tired, and I was like, okay, I can't handle that. Like, it's not I can't handle that anymore, I just don't want to have all of that inside. So I was trying to find a way to like really forgive her, because I had lots of anger towards her and towards my brother. I didn't want to feel that, and I was like, you know what, I'm not a child anymore. I don't want to keep all of that and like let that ruin my adulthood. And I was able to do that. Actually, what helped me a lot? Understanding that actually she had just the same experience with her own mom. So basically, my grandmother was such a bossy and cold mother. So her kids were suffering, honestly. What my mom told me about their childhood, yeah, I mean, like having that kind of mother. For example, my mother wasn't cold. It's not about her. Like, we had another issue, but her mother was cold, and she was too focused on work and stuff like that. But she was also very strict, and that's why my mom started, having that fear about her. And when people like that, people who are so focused on money, on material things, who are so bossy, when they become older, they kind of feel like they are losing control. They can't control people anymore with their power, because they don't have that power anymore. So they also have to rely somehow on other people for getting some support. And they can't do that in a nice way, because they don't know how to be nice. They don't know anything about real feelings, about real empathy, about real love. So they start manipulating. That's it. And that's exactly what my grandmother was doing. She was just manipulating, playing the victim all the time. And since my mother was extremely soft, extremely kind, and extremely naive, I would say also at some point. So for my grandmother, it was very easy to manipulate my mother. She has been doing that her entire life. And of course, that got so deep into my mom's subconscious. In fact, this is the only model she knows. The model of relationship between the mother and the daughter is like this. Then unconsciously she started recreating just the same experience. You feel a little bit less miserable when you also can feel a bit of that power, over someone. Anyways, she had such a pure soul, and I understand that she just got emotionally, like mentally broken. It was her mother first, then her first husband, my dad, than her second husband. She was constantly emotionally abused by them. So that's why she even didn't notice how she started doing the same with me. Well, knowing all of that, I was able to forgive her and finally get that peace of mind. But not for a long time. Because of the war, my grandmother has moved to the same building. Like, we don't live in the same apartment, but she lives in the same building, just on the first floor. So they have to communicate every single day. Then I saw how much my mom got triggered because of my grandmother. She has enormous amount of traumas because of her, actually, and that triggers her again and again. And I told her, like, okay, you'd better forgive her, and then you will feel that relief, because I know what I'm talking about. I've just done that. You can feel such relief it gives you. So it was my advice, like the very first advice. And then she was like, but come on, no, I'm not blaming her, stuff like that. I don't have any resentments or whatever. I was like, but you just told me all of that, and actually you were complaining a lot about your childhood. Like, you do have that, you do blame her. But she was like, no. She was denying that fact with the eyes like that, like, no, I'm not like you, like your generation, only blaming your parents, that the only thing you can do. And then I got it, like, for them it feels so embarrassing to, kind of judge and blame their parents. They feel like, no, it's like, it's not nice, that how it feels, to them. I understand that, but damn, you have to become a little bit more aware about how it works, because this is your psyche, this is your mind. You have to live with all of those emotions every single day. It's so tiring. So I really wanted to help her. It doesn't matter what I was telling, she was getting so angry about everything that I was telling her, And I was getting angry as well, because, like, damn, I do worry about you a lot. I don't want you to get sick because of that anger that you have inside. And why I started being worried about her, like, getting sick, because she started telling me that she had that bad dream, that she passed away, and she was watching my grandmother from kind of from up there, and was thinking like, oh, but my mother is still there, who will take care of her, those kind of dreams. And then she also shared with me that dream where our dog also died. And then when that really happened, in reality, I got like so scared, because you see, like, two bad dreams about death. The first one became real, and so of course you start anticipating, that the second one will be just the same. It was like crystal clear. You have that anger, right? It's like some unhealthy stuff with your mother. and it triggers and triggers you again and again. So that really can cause some damage to your health. To my grandma, it's impossible that something like that will happen with my grandmother, because as I told you, my grandmother doesn't care about people. So that's why. But it's totally the opposite with my mom. My mom is very sensitive, so she feels everything. Everything goes just right through her. That's why I was like, no, I started being really worried a lot. And so I was kind of insisting more and more, like, no, you have to forgive her, you have to forgive her. And she was getting like more and more angry about me. Anyways, at some point I decided, you know what, do whatever you want, because I'm just torturing myself with that. And I was like, okay, I hope that you will be able to manage that. Like, whatever advice I was giving her, like about psychology, right? Because now I'm really into this topic a lot, and I also can see that it helps me a lot. So whenever I'm sharing something with her, I always have that reaction: that's not true. Whatever you are talking about doesn't make any sense. And so many things. It was so tiring. I was talking about that, right? When the way your parents are treating you, it's shaping your personality afterwards. And I was trying to deal with that for such a long time, and then I realized, right, how many borders of mine were crossed and what kind of damage my personality got because of that. I was talking about all of that. I honestly thought that there is only can be healthy anger, that whatever anger you have is great, is good, it's there for you. I was talking about that in that video, but what knowledge I have right now, what actually happened yesterday. We had a family evening because my parents, they had their wedding anniversary, so my grandmother joined us. Then, after some glasses of wine, my mom started telling my grandmother everything what has been inside her entire life, like all the situations. She was blaming her. They started having like huge fight. My grandma was crying, saying like playing the victim. Such a hell, like really. I was trying to calm them down and trying to convince them they have to forgive each other, they have to understand each other, because none of them had that real intention to hurt. But people like being victims, and I saw that, okay, it's not possible to help them anyhow. Then my grandmother went back to her apartment. I had the talk with my mom. Great that you told her everything. Now it's just right time finally to forgive her. And she was like, no, you have no idea what you're talking about. I was like, yeah, but when I forgave you, I had such a relief. And she was like, what? Why do you even have to forgive me? Like, I've done nothing to you, and all of that stuff. So we also had that fight. Then I went to bed and I had that anger inside, like that was the last time when I had that kind of intention to help you or do whatever you want with your life. I'm just done with that. I'm just so tired. I'll just leave and you do whatever you want. That's it. I'm done. So I fell asleep. When I was falling asleep, I had that inside, like, yes, it's great. Like, finally, my entire life, I've been worried about her, like, so much. I never saw her really, like, appreciating that. And I was like, yes, finally, I'm done with that. Then I fell asleep and I had that dream. That dream has changed everything. First of all, there were three of us: my mother, my grandmother, and I. We had a fight. My mom was blaming my grandmother, I was blaming my mom, all at the same time. And then I remember I just was screaming at my mom's face, like, I hate you. It's not like I'm angry about you or whatever. It's I hate you. And in that dream, sometimes you have a dream, you can't like some things they look to you very absurd and stuff, but the feelings are very vivid and real. Like you literally feel that, you understand that and stuff. So I could feel that feeling of of me hating her is like so real. Like that's exactly what I have, like very very deep inside. After I realized that I hated her, but just I was suppressing the feeling of hate. Why? Because it's not nice. It's not nice to hate your own mother, right? It even sounds awful. So that's why I was like, no, 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 I'm too nice. Like, no way, no way, I hate her. So I was suppressing that feeling. And in that dream, I could see that really this is the feeling that I have toward her. But after that, they got shocked. Like my mother, my grandmother, they were like, how can you say this kind of things to your mother and stuff? And I was like, yeah, but what do you want? Like, look, you just like your mother, and I am just like you. So what do you want from me? Like, you want me to be nice, but look at yourself. Like, I'm just the same. And that's it. Like, in fact, that's true. My mom, she gave a birth to just exactly same person. I was just same soft, same kind, same sensitive as she was. So I was a perfect kid for recreating the same experience that she had with her own mother. I'm still talking about that dream. I'm in my bedroom, right? I can hear that there is someone going to my room. So I'm looking out and I can see my mother, and I can see her face, and her face is, like no emotions, and she's looking like that at me, like just literally like a zombie, and I understand in that dream that she wants to kill me. So she is pushing me into my bedroom, and it's dark in my bedroom. So once we are there, I can't see her face anymore, but I can feel that she is trying to suffocate me. Like she's trying to kill me. And I can't see her face, but I can feel her trying to kill me, because I can't see her face, right? Because we are in the dark. But I have that understanding that this is not her who is trying to kill me, but this is my own feeling about her. So that anger is trying to kill me. So in fact, I'm trying to kill myself. Then I woke up. I was so shocked because the dream was too real. Like it felt so real. When I woke up, my hands were like that, like I was trying to protect myself, and they were shaking. Because in the dream, when I was holding her face, so do not let her get closer to me, like she started like shaking. Exactly like in the horror movies, I'm telling you. So when I woke up, I was so frightened because like the dream was terrifying. But I knew that I have to analyze the dream and understand why I had the dream, because my subconscious always trying to talk to me through my dreams. Always, like so many dreams I already had, and my dreams, they've been guiding me so well, so well. So I have realized three very important things. First of all, I hate my mom. That's what I realized. I have that strong feeling inside. I was sure that I forgave her. I was sure that I don't have any bad feelings about her. But now I understand. You can forgive your parents for the past traumas, for childhood, like whatever. But while you are still communicating, so they still can trigger you again and again, again and again. And I understand that, yes, she was constantly triggering me again and again. So even though I forgave that old stuff, but the new stuff was arriving every single day. So yes, that strong feeling of anger, the fact that I can't accept so many things about her was there. And that stuff can kill me. That strong negative emotion inside, which is suppressed. Because as I told you, I was like, me? Hate? No. I was suppressed that emotion, because it's not nice to feel that. That suppressed stuff can kill you. That can cause cancer, autoimmune disease, so many things, after my mom having that dream when she passed away, and all the information that I know about that, I know it is possible. It's so bad. So whenever you have that, you have to get rid of that. You have to find a way to get rid of that. You can't change another person. It's not about that person. It's about you having that feeling about that person. That I felt that in the dream when I couldn't see her face, but I could feel that it's not her killing me, but my own emotion of hating her killing me. That's the first thing. The second thing, why do I even hate my mom? Because hate and love is the same feeling, is one feeling. It's just two opposite sides of one feeling. Like the opposite to love isn't hate, but when you don't care about the person, when you don't feel anything, this is the opposite one. So love and hate are two extremes of the same plane. That's why I've been always experiencing those emotional roller coasters about her. Today I'm loving her and like I'm trying to help and I'm all there for her. And tomorrow I thought I was angry about her, but in fact I was hating her. And it's not because I'm a bad daughter. It's just because I had that unhealthy attachment to her, emotional attachment. And whenever you have that unhealthy attachment, whenever you are too attached to a person, so it's always about those extremes, like hate, love. Basically, I was able to see finally I have unhealthy attachment with my mom. She has unhealthy attachment to her mother. I'm just repeating same situation. Okay, and then of course immediately I was like, I need a solution right now. I am not going to sacrifice my life. And by the way, I always had that about my mom. I'm ready to sacrifice my life for her. That's how much I love her. Yes, I love her. But now I understand, no way I will sacrifice my life for someone. I will bend my knees. Doesn't matter what she's doing. Now I understand that's not right. You can't sacrifice yourself. You can't sacrifice your boundaries. You can't sacrifice your life for anyone in this life. So energy, like the universe, right? That divine energy, which is God, and you are a part of this. So you're a God as well. And when you are trying to sacrifice yourself, means you're trying to sacrifice God. You're trying to sacrifice that divine energy. So I was like, no, damn, all of that, it's totally unhealthy stuff. I have to get rid of that. First of all, I'm not going to sacrifice myself. I can't stop loving her, okay? I'm a sensitive person. Actually, she's done still a lot, like really a lot for me. So she's a great mom. Yeah, we had all of that stuff because she was also traumatized. I understand that she was like that, not because she's the bad person. My grandmother is the bad person. Like, also, probably you can't say like who is bad, but my grandmother really doesn't care about people, but my mom does. She just was just like me. Soft, kind, sensitive, and with the way how people were treating her, she just got broke. That's it. And that's why I don't want to stop loving her. I don't want to get rid of those feelings, but I can stop hating her. And it's very easy to stop hating a person when you understand that you have that feeling of hate just because this is the same feeling of love. You hate that person because you love that person and you just want that person be happy, and you think that that person can be happy only if that person is doing what you're saying. You can't push that person. For example, I can't push my mom to learn her lessons faster than she's supposed to learn them, because maybe her soul is younger than my soul. That's why my soul can, learn that stuff faster, and her soul needs more time and more situations. Maybe her soul exactly needs this situation to learn this lesson. So her soul will evolve, her soul will grow. So this is her own process of evolving. Who am I to push that process? Am I that divine energy? No, I'm only responsible for my own body, for my own mind, for my own energy, for my own soul, for my own process of evolving. And when I understood that, immediately that feeling like, oh my god, I hate her, just disappeared. Like, just disappeared. I don't feel it anymore. I only feel love. And that understanding that since now I'll accept her no matter what, because I just understand that she's trying her best. She truly needs these lessons, And we were talking a lot after that, and I first of all I told her like I really understand you. Now I really understand you, and I do apologize, for me like pushing you and like trying to like and telling you that whatever you're doing is wrong. After I told her that, she started being much more receptive to other things. So I shared about my own experience, what I was thinking about her, like how I was trying to forgive her, how I succeeded, and then how I was getting angry because I had that feeling like, because I saw her suffering a lot when I was a child. I got that unhealthy attachment to her, like, oh my god, I always have to help you and stuff. So that's why, because of that strong feeling, I was acting like that. So she was able to understand me. She also apologized for many things that she's done to me, and it was such a such a nice and deep talk. But we were able to have that talk only after I realized that I must accept her. Only after that I can, have only that unconditional, pure love, and I can get rid of that destructive feeling. So I understand why I love, for example, my mother, because yes, I have not even love, right, but I have that like very deep feeling for her, because she truly deserves that. About my grandmother, well, since my mother was extremely afraid of her, she told me that. And I know that this is just psychological fact that whenever you have that fear about someone, because that is a very strong emotion, so you start loving that person. But it's not like about loving, it's kind of about it's just like about unhealthy attachment. You feel like pain is love, and so all of that. So that's why, yes, it's possible to have that love even for someone who hurt you a lot. But it's all about, we have to accept stuff. The universe is teaching us humility, because humility requires lots of courage and lots of strength. And like, it is much easier to accept a person finally and save your own soul, because you're getting rid of that dysfunctional emotion inside you. It is much easier when you understand why that person is like that. And I'm telling you, all of us, when we are kids, we are pure. We are so pure, we're so kind. That is our natural state, But because of the environment, because of the parents, because we had lack of this and that, you know, my grandmother, she grew up in a very, very small house with her mom and her dad. So she had her mom and dad, she had enough that love and everything, but she didn't have enough space. And her only dream was to have a big house for her own family. That's why her entire life she's been focused on this, on material things like house, everything about the house, like decorations, food in the house, on like house, money. And she thought that this is enough to show love to her kids, to her family. And I was trying to explain that to my mom, you know, that that's why she's like that. Not because like she's just a bad person and that's it. But okay, my mom, you know, for me it's easy to understand that because I don't have that unhealthy attachment to my grandmother. I don't care like at all. But since my mother has that unhealthy attachment, for her it's very difficult to accept that. It's also another generation, you know, the older you get, the less flexible your mind is. It's harder for you to accept things. And yeah, for her it's much harder than for me. And you maybe having this information will be way easier for you to accept and forgive, remain that love for your mother or father or brother or sister. Because for example, I've done that also to my brother, because I told you I was hating him a lot, and just after I understood, yeah, I was hating him because you know, because my mother was treating us in such a different way, I felt like it's not fair. So that's why when I realized that, so immediately I stopped hating him, you know. I realized that it was not his fault. He came to this world, to this family, like this mom, this sister, this dad. I'm having all of that, and like, what do I have to do? You know, I'm the youngest one here. And yeah, when I realized all of that, like immediately all bad feelings disappeared. And your soul deserves peace, you know. True love isn't about buying stuff, going to the gym, to spa, and isn't even only about protecting your boundaries, okay, which is of course important, but it's about keeping your soul in peace. So it's about me and my story. By the way, in 3 days I'm going to remove my braces soon, finally, because it hurts so much when I'm talking. So I hope that this story was helpful, and thank you for watching this video. I'll see you again in my new video. Bye 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 bye.